for our series this year. And this year we're very lucky to have the Maryland Defense Force Band with us. I don't think we've ever had this many people. So they sound wonderful as they've been warming up and everything, and I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time. And it's led by our friend Yari Villanueva.
Defense Force Band, and if you're wondering who all these great-looking young people up here in these fancy uniforms, the Maryland Defense Force is Maryland's, for lack of a better word, the state militia. We are volunteers, the uniformed volunteers who serve the state. We have 400 members who are serve the state as doctors, lawyers, engineers. We also have a financial corps, and all these folks give up of their time and their talent to support the Maryland National Guard and the active duty Army by helping out the Guard in such matters like when troops are going overseas for deployment. We have our lawyers and our medical folks who help them. Our engineers also survey all the armories throughout the state. We save the state about $50 million a year by volunteering our services. And we have a band. For the past 3 years, we've had a terrific band that is the face of the Maryland Defense Force. And what you see before you are all volunteers. We volunteer our time, we pay for our own uniforms, and we go out and we represent the state of Maryland. And so on behalf of the Adjutant General of the state, Major General James A. Atkins, and our Commanding General, Brigadier General Brian R. Cowan, we'd like to welcome you to an afternoon of some holiday music. And of course, the first piece that we played, very traditional, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Our next piece comes from the Broadway stage, and it's actually two selections. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and we need a little Christmas. Now, the first piece of this medley was written by the great Broadway composer Meredith Willson, who we all know from The Music Man, he was a great piccolo player, played for John Philip Sousa's band, and he also wrote this terrific piece, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. The second half of this medley is a piece called We Need a Little Christmas, and it's from the Broadway musical Mame, a musical that was written by Jerry Herman. And his other great show, of course, that we all know, it was Hello Dolly. So we hope that you enjoy this medley of two tunes. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and we need a little Christmas to get us all into the holiday spirit. Well, you know, it would not be the holiday or Christmas season without a Charlie Brown Christmas. And it's hard to believe, but it's almost been 50 years since that first appeared on television back in December of 1965. That's right. And it was Charles Schultz's, one of his first animated specials for television. And I got to tell you, back then, the TV executives got very nervous about putting on this this cartoon because they didn't know how a cartoon that was aimed for kids would play on prime time. And then on top of it, it had a jazz composer who wrote the soundtrack. Oh my goodness, unheard of at that time. Vince Guaraldi, who was a jazz pianist, wrote the score. And so the executives were kind of afraid, but of course it did air in December of 1965, and it has went on to become one of our most favorite TV specials. Every year, I make time to see it because it's a heartwarming story with the Peanuts characters, with the true meaning of Christmas, talking about how Christmas has become over-commercialized, and Linus reading from the Bible and telling about the true meaning of Christmas. Well, one of the great tunes from that soundtrack, of course, is this very pretty tune called Christmas Time is Here. Wow, another time for another medley of some great Christmas songs. We've called this Great Songs of Christmas, and it has three favorite holiday songs in it. First one is Winter Wonderland, which actually, the song itself dates back to the 1930s. Was a popular song, and it, of course, has been recorded so many times. The second tune in this medley is a song called Silver Bells. And it's always a great trivia question to ask, what movie did that actually come from? Anyone? What movie does Silver Bells come from? It's a movie called The Lemon Drop Kid, starring Bob Hope. It's one of those not so often seen movies, but it did produce this great tune, Silver Bells. And then the third tune in our medley is a piece called The Christmas Song, which is also known as Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. And of course, that, that song itself dates back to the 1940s, written by Mel Torme. So we'd like to play this medley for you right now, and as a little added bonus, the Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire will feature our alto saxophone soloist, Sergeant Adrian Tenney, on the E-flat alto saxophone. So here we go with our Great Songs of Christmas. such talent in the state of Maryland, huh? How about that? Isn't that great? Another nice hand for Adrian Tenney, our saxophone soloist. And now a great tune, and this one we'd like to send out to those, our greatest generation, those who've served in World War II, because not many people realize it, but this is actually a war song. It was written during World War II. I'll be home for Christmas, and the whole song talks about a soldier who's writing home at Christmas time and expecting to be home, wanting to be home, of course, as all the boys did back then, as all the boys do, you know, even today. Want to come home and see the mistletoe, the snow and everything. And this song really reaches out to that. And it's interestingly, the song, unfortunately, it sort of ends on a sad note, because after he gives all these wishes, he ends it by saying, "If only in my dreams." But it's a very pretty song nevertheless, and we have a terrific arrangement. This arrangement was done by the great band composer and arranger Eric Lietzen. This is "I'll Be Home for Christmas." This week has been the Festival of Hanukkah, Festival of Lights. The band had, the Maryland Defense Force Band had the great privilege and honor of playing downtown last Sunday evening for the lighting of the menorah at the Inner Harbor. And it was a terrific experience. They had a long caravan of vehicles that started up in the Park Heights area, escorted down by the police and the National Guard, down to the Inner Harbor, where they had a terrific ceremony and the official lighting. Our brass group played for that, and we played this great arrangement of, it's called Festival of Hanukkah, and it has some terrific Hanukkah tunes in it. We'd like to play that for you right now. This arrangement was done by Bill Holcomb, the great composer and arranger from New Jersey. And I hope that you enjoy it. You'll get to hear some of the terrific festival music that is associated with Hanukkah. Now, before we take a short break, Christmas is also celebrated around the world, and we are going to go down to the Caribbean right now, where it's probably 92 degrees, with a nice breeze blowing, of course, and hear a little music, a Caribbean Christmas. At this time, I think Brenda's got a brief announcement. We're going to take just 5 minutes, 5-minute break, and then warm up your vocal cords because we're going to